Alright then, let's fucking have it. How do, ladies and gentlemen, and others, it's me, Roasted Charvain, back with some more reacting to stuff and reviewing music. Today is a commission request. If you want to commission me, contractually oblige me to listen to something, you can go to the Ko-fi and you can pay to do so. As has Kai.fm. And Kai has asked me, well, has told me, this is a request for Converge's Jane Doe, quite possibly the quintessential metalcore album. I love the wording of that, and in my opinion, the best the genre has to offer. It offers an insane head-pounding instrumentation mixed with the shrill, almost unintelligible screams to create an experience that is as beautiful as it is violent. You really sell me on this, dude. The lyrics are a series of thematically aligned but ambiguous poems, giving you an inward look to the feeling of each track, but not directly spelling it out, leaving room for you to interpret the meaning of the music. Incredible album all round. And Kai is not the only one to think so, because look at these scores. 92 from 4 critic reviews, and an 88 average based on 3,000 user score. That is the 7th rank of 2001. And if I click on this, you'll see that's one spot above Tool's Lateralis, which is one of the best albums ever made. Why have I not heard this? I'm not too sure, but I haven't heard anything of this. Look at the track ratings over here. It's all 90s apart from an 85 and an 89. That's insane. Kerrang gave it 100. Pitchfork hates anything that is even remotely metal, and they gave it 77. Puke blood bitch. I'm guessing that's one of the lyrics. We'll find out. I'm actually very excited to get into this. It's a must-hear album, and so I'm going to. As ever, I'll have the lyrics up on the screen. I've put a little background up for you so it's more interesting to look at. I will go through each track of this album and rate them all out of 100 on this little thing here. I can get rid of my face so you can see what I'm doing. And then at the end, we will rate and review the album as a whole. I have something in my eye. 1 second. There we go. That's better. I also, at the minute, the reason that this is the first video I've recorded in a few days, I have a pretty bad, cough, cold at the minute. So if I do cough into the mic, I'm going to do my best not to. But if I do, I apologise. I know it's a horrible thing to hear. Right. There's no advertising to do on this one because this video is already bought and paid for. Even though I kind of already have, because I told you to go to the Ko-fi and there's a thing taken across the top of the screen. Never mind. Let's get into this. I have the lyrics already up for the track 1. Track 1 is called Concubine, but it is only 1 minute and 20 seconds long. So let's do Concubine straight into Fault and Fracture. Let's do them together, because Fault and Fracture is only 3 minutes. Let's do this as one 4-minute, 26-second song. Let's go. I'm really interested to see what this sounds like. Metalcore from 2001. And highly acclaimed metalcore at that rate. Let's go. Not kidding, unintelligible. So far, there's a band I love who don't exist anymore called Dillinger Escape Plan. And this is massively reminding me of them, although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure this came first. Ooh. I'm trying to figure out where we are, even with the lyrics in front of me. Okay, we're on the next song now. I'm gonna give up trying to read as he's singing, because I'm not gonna get it. Okay. Syncopation. Jarring tonal shifts as well. I'm just checking. I haven't gone to the next track again. Tempo change? Well, that's pretty breathless, pretty fucking frantic, innit? Let's go back to Concubine. Let's just read. Let's just read it. Dear, I'll stay gold just to keep these pasts at bay, to keep the loneliest of nights from claiming you, and to keep these longest of days from waking you. For I felt the greatest of winters coming, and I saw you as seasons shifting from blue to grey. That's where the coldest of these days await me, and distance lays her heavy head beside me. There I'll stay gold, forever gold. So we are sacrificing ourselves to protect you, or them, whoever you is, to protect them from loneliness, from, well, longest of days is loneliness again. Winter, probably not literal, metaphorical. And we saw them as seasons shifting from blue to grey. So we saw them getting sadder, going from summer into autumn. But we'll take the winter from them so they don't have to. Distance lays her heavy head beside me. So we're not close to this person. They don't know that we're making this sacrifice for them. You are the most beautiful as the damage and the trauma. You are the most beautiful as the damage and the trauma. Interesting. Pounding hard with battered wings of destiny. You are my last great war. You are my heaven ablaze, riddled with faults and fractures. I'm loving the wording of things. So you were most beautiful as the damage of the trauma. So, so we're part of the problem then, because what we're looking for, what we find beautiful, is damage and trauma. Maybe now that I'm assuming she, because it said she before. Now that she's not as damaged, we don't find her as beautiful. Pounding hard with battered wings of destiny, or maybe this is just kind of meant to lift them up. Don't know. Pounding hard with battered wings of destiny, which is cool. You are my last great war. You are my heaven ablaze. So we are in the past. They don't know that we're still sacrificing for them. Riddled with faults and fractures, and I spent my last of days burning my oldest of bridges, killing the best of friends. Oh, nights killing the best of friends. In the company of thieves, liars, beggars, and whores, I'll lay waiting just for my time to come. So we've sacrificed everything else we could have had. We've given up for this damaged, traumatized, beautiful thing. Interesting. Very, very intrigued by the verbiage. The sound, though, not my bag. I'm on the fringes when it comes to metalcore at the best of times. And like the Dillinger songs I like are the ones where they go all over the place stylistically. Those two songs together very much stayed in the same lane. Yes, they kind of jumped around different tempos and different riffs and stuff, but all the riffs were very much in that same kind of frantic, frenetic, very high. Like I didn't feel like there was much bass in there. It was all very high in the mix. Guitar sounds. Really enjoyed the drumming, but I don't know, just in general, the high tempo, high friction sound isn't really my thing. So I'm not really sure what numbers to put. Yeah. I didn't enjoy it. I did not enjoy it. It's just it was a bit, you know. Yeah, just not exactly what I wanted. I like that style as part of a song, not the entire thing. I think I'll go for the first part. I'll go like a 72, and for the second part, maybe like a 76. But I'll be real. If all of it is exactly like that without changing up, those numbers might start coming down. And I've just noticed the last song is 11 minutes and 33. It's 2001, so I'm going to assume that that's a hidden track. Like a couple of minutes of silence and then a hidden track, because that was a thing back then, because people used to buy physical media. There you go, 72, 76, that's what I've written so far. Alright, next track, Distance and Meaning. Like, even the drums are mixed with quite high. Just leaving that low end just with not really anything in it. It's weird. I like it so far. I always do that, sorry. 30 more seconds, okay. Interesting. So quite quickly turned negative on this. So that's where they die. That's where she outshines. So what dies? She outshines things and they die. But I'll never burn. Will never burn. Okay. People slamming doors. Apologies. And like that heart got in the way, like that that true lost fire, like that, the burden of rage, like the years we burned down. See, like, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but this like doesn't end. And what's like the heart that got in the way? The true lost fire, the burden of rage. Like that, the burden of rage. Like that, the burden of rage. What? Died? I heard the phone call, my hesitation, everything I felt, everything you need, everything I am, everything you need. So we still feel like we're right for this person, but it's too late. It's gone. Splinters of sentence and heartless advice. Oof. Nothing's changed, nothing's changed. But these days entwined. And then we talk about, and now they're born. Distance and meaning. Like the years we burned down. So everything that we've given up for this person. But nothing's changing. Splinters of sentence and heartless advice is just... So they called us. So is this all we have to offer? Or is that what they're offering us? Maybe both? Yeah, it's not looking too positive. Musically, I think that was probably a little better than the first two. I'm saying better. Like the common consensus, if you can see on the side here, the colour isn't great for you to see it. It's the first two songs were 93 and 95. This one's 92. But I actually thought it was a little better. I'm gonna go 77. There's the stuff. But yeah, we are in a bit of trouble if the whole thing sounds exactly like this. Basically, pretty much any one sound throughout an album without variance. It needs more variance. Let's see what Hell to Pay has to offer. Slower opening, okay. Intrigued. Like a static of a room in the back as well. Like we're playing it in a large room and it's not mic'd great. I'm not saying that's what happened, I think that's intentional. Hence why there's a line like that in a second. This is like Faith No More. Instant tempo change, then change straight back, okay? So which is it double, is that double time or is the rest half time? It's difficult to really tell. That bass line's really nice. I got what I wanted. Variance. That tempo change is getting me every time. Next bar? There it is. Oh, shit. Yep, there you go. The usual compliment that I paid stuff. Completely forgot what I was doing. Right, okay. Hell to Pay, that is comfortably the best sound on this album so far. I'm going to go 84. Way better. Varied. Varied the pace, varied the style, varied the structure. Really weird song structure, but enjoyable. The bass, there was a bass guitar there. There was something in the low end. Come on. We're moving. In fact, I'm going to have to downgrade the rest a little. Bit. Just to cover how much better that was. There we go. I'll let you see an updated list. Hey. Right, this poem. Suet Dumplings warning. Cheap lips. If you don't know what suet dumplings mean, I'm avoiding saying a different word. Because if you say that word, the video gets like flagged. We're far enough into the video now that I can say this bit, but one of my videos I actually deleted it because I said cunt 3 times in the first like 10 seconds, and the video got flagged, and so I just removed it because I didn't want that flag there, because it's already difficult enough when what I'm covering is music and playing entire songs. I don't need like bad language tags to start affecting future uploads. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't cover people I already hate, eh? Right. Cheap lips, soft eyes, lost in the most blinding lights. So cheap lips is weird. A weird choice of verb. No. Adjective. Soft eyes implies like innocence, naivety, and also a kind of this person likes you, like if their eyes are soft to you. Lost in the most blinding lights, so could be literal, could mean that they met in a club. Cheap lips, though, is a strange one. So it might be like it doesn't take much to get with this person. That's what I would assume it means. As cold as those first nights alone, as the second best he'll become. So I think this is about that same girl as the previous songs, but a different guy. We're singing about someone else. Maybe the person after us or before, maybe. And she got with him. She wasn't interested, and he felt cold, and he knew that he'd peaked. He cried himself to sleep and pulled the trigger to empty the memory. He cut the weight to end the floods of you. Let him soar, let him ride as budding gravestones do. Just sleep, girl, just dream well. So a guy killed himself over her, and we're just telling her, "Day, don't worry about it, it's not your fault." This girl might be a problem. And the next song's called Home Wreck. Okay, let's check this out. That was loud. Okay. I'm liking how the lyrics all fit on one page, that's good. Easy for me. This part's really nice and chunky. The sound of those toms I really don't like. They sound so tinny. That was better. The lower tones are better. For a metal album this loud, the mic is maybe being a little bit far away from me. Got it right that time. It's odd for me listening to this because the individual pieces are stuff that I enjoy, but I don't know. It's not coming together into a collective piece that I'm really like that's hitting my ear right. And I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. Like I've picked out various different things I'm not enjoying, like the frantic tempo of it. How high everything seems to be tuned, but that's not. I don't know. That's not really that much of a bad thing. I think that was around on the same level as Fault and Fracture, so I'll give it the same score, 74. Like it's still easy 70s. Like I'm not going 60 or below because it's really, experimental. It's really like energetic. There's a lot going on. It's impossible to ignore it. But it's just not quite, other than Hell to Pay, which was very different. Like it's very different to these other tracks. Other than Hell to Pay, which came together into something collective, a piece that I enjoyed. So far, it's just pieces that I've enjoyed. Lyrically, we're going back to negative again. So it's like we're comforting it when it's anything to do with anyone else, but then when it's anything to do with us, we're angry. Gotta be honest, it's coming off a little incelly. Let's see. I have bled and I have given the longest of rivers and the longest of ropes. So we've bled rivers, long rivers, for her, given up so much for her. I have given the longest of ropes. So we've cast, well, not cast the net. We've extended olive branches, if you like. We've thrown out ropes for her to grab. And she's not grasping, and my light is sinking on the horizon. So time's running out. Knee deep among your wreckage and uncertainty, with anguish my crown and heartbreak my throne. Great line. But again, it's not looking great, is it? Where it's giving Charlie and the Waitress a little bit. I lay claim to this day, no love, no hope. I've lost count of the second chances that we've given her. But there's no love and no hope. But we still lay claim to this day. It's not giving the best vibes, to be honest. If I were this girl, I would be telling this guy, just fuck off, mate. Let's see where it goes from there. The Broken Vow. So this is only a 2-minute, and the next one's a 1-minute, so let's do them both. Broken Vow, and Bitter, and then some. You can see the other genres up here. The first one listed is metalcore, mathcore, hardcore punk, but then the last one is sludge metal. If I was filling that in, like the genre section, I think I'd lean more that way. There's definitely punk elements, like the pace of it, but it is very sludgy. Join the last guy. This is kind of so-addy a little bit. I was wrong. I thought I felt a slowdown coming, but I didn't. I was wrong. Two of the best songs yet. I don't think either of those were as good as Hell to Pay, but they were both, I thought, quite comfortably above the rest. I'm going to go Broken Vow, I'll let you see. I'm going to go Broken Vow 80, Bitter and Then Some 78. And I kind of want to move these down a bit more, and I'm going to 75. 79. There we go. Decent balance, decent balance, decent balance. Yeah, I thought they were both really good. I think it helps that they were short, because they just got the different ideas across the different riffs through without them overstaying. Let's have a read. Those nights we had and the trust we lost. It reminds me of the sleep that fled and the heart we lost. Just how callous and heartless the true cowards are, and I write this for the loveless, for the risks we take. I'll take my love to my grave. As tired and worn it is, I'll take my love to the grave. If this dude were real and I were this girl, I'd probably call the police. I think there's problems here, like serious problems. Those nights we had, when were they? Because we talk about the distance and stuff, it probably is a long time ago. The sleep that fled and the heart we lost, just how callous and heartless the true cowards are. Who? Because the next song talks about those as well. I'll take my love to my grave. And then I'll take my love to the grave. We're definitely a danger. And then this really spells it out. Death to cowards, traitors, and empty words, to those adorned with the touch of rose petals and the blessed gift of forgetfulness, for these are your years and days to outshine. So death to people who like fake love to get what they want and then just don't give a shit about the other person. Push on and soar higher, this is your memory, your everything, and the in-between. The impression I'm getting from this is of someone who thinks that they're being romantic, but they're actually being invasive and aggressive. I'd love to read maybe on the album page. We'll save it for the end. Alright. Next song. Phoenix in Flight. Oh, I got confused then. I went backwards, didn't I? Did I? No. Heaven in Her Arms is next. It just went on to the next song. And I paused it at 0. Heaven in Her Arms. So, fucking missed the song then. spell it out for me? I think the music is also adding to this impression I'm getting. There's like, this sound isn't a sound of a declaration of love. This is frenetic, aggressive. If someone's going to tell you they love you, this isn't the manner in which you want to hear it, is it? Nor the context. I love fucking changing tempo. That is a badass fucking riff, man. Lowering the tempo again, fucking love it. Back up again. No, only 20 seconds left, so probably not. Alright, that's going to go into the next song, so let's leave it there and then pick it up in a second. Right. Death was just a simple glass across a dim lit room, and those eyes did it. Those 3 words did it. Those 3 words killed him. So, we glance across a dimly lit room, and the eyes did it. Those 3 words did it. We know which 3 words they are. Whenever there's 3 words in a song, you know what they are. Those 3 words killed him. And I surrender to it all. Between you and me, I surrender to you. So it's like that we do have a shift in pronouns. So the person who killed themselves who Suet Dumplings in the middle of the album, that's too late. You've said it. The person who killed himself in the middle of the album, it wasn't us, it was someone else. And we are talking about someone else, and we still are. So we've witnessed then, this person must have been before us, so we've witnessed what she did to someone else. But even having seen that, we want it anyway. So she's a problem too. She is a problem, big time. And I surrender to it all. Between you and me, I surrender to you. Or maybe she's not actually. Maybe she's not doing anything. Maybe it's all in these guys' heads. That's actually more likely, to be honest. And I surrender to it all. Between you and me, I surrender to you. Forgive me for the sadness and the bringing of you down. I just needed a lover and I needed a friend, and there you were. Running from forever like all the rest. So she's like a free spirit. That's probably what attracts them to her. And they fall for her. And they surrender to her. But I get the impression that this guy's never spoken to her. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're writing from the perspective of. These 3 simple words bled me dry. 3 simple words bled us dry, I love you. Maybe this person that she loved, and that those first nights alone. Maybe he didn't kill himself. Maybe she didn't leave him. Maybe they were together, and our character killed him and staged it as a suicide. And so now he's like trying to comfort her and trying to use that to get closer to her. That wouldn't surprise me if that's the story, you know, because that's the vibe you get. And I'm sure it's the sound of the music that pushes me that way. Oh yeah, I can't go into the next tracks yet because I need to fucking whack some numbers down. Just one actually, wasn't it? Getting confused. I'm already lost in this album. I think the reason I thought that was 2 tracks because the first half and the second half sounded so different. Like when we slowed it down, that riff was great, but the first half was very like, you know, these tracks. So I'm gonna have to give it like a score kind of in the middle of those. I don't know. I feel like this album has been at its best. This album's been at its best when it's varied up the pace and when it's, you know, made, you know, just gone in different directions a little more. I feel like some of the songs are a bit, I don't want to say safe, but yeah, safe a little. As safe as like an experimental early form of a genre like this gets, but still, yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's because this is like a really like a progenitor of a genre that was yet to really burst out. Like metalcore didn't really start getting proper big. Certainly not things like death metalcore, which this actually sounds more like. Didn't really start getting big for another like 5, 6, 7 years after this. Like when was Attack Attack? That's when it started going down. They're back, by the way. What the fuck? But yeah, it started going down in like the 2010s a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's reminded me a little bit. I think I've said this before. I love reading sci-fi. Most books I read are sci-fi. And so my auntie got me a book called, I think it's called Brave New World. And it's like one of the first sci-fi ever written. And as you read it, you can see all these seeds, all these things that future novels would take and, you know, make into stories. Or like all these themes, all these ideas. But then the book itself, it's really cool to witness that. But then the book itself is like, it's over 100 years old now. And it's a bit simple. And as a book on its own, it's not actually that enjoyable outside of thinking, oh yeah, this is like what, you know, Philip K. Dick would end up taking, or this is what, you know, Robert Gibson would end up using. It's just kind of, as a book on its own, it's a little bit, it's like listening to a band's garage demos after listening to their 10th studio album. It's like, you're going at it in the wrong order. You're seeing the progenitor before, after you witness what it became. Anyway, Phoenix in Flight, the one I was going to play. We'll do Phoenix in Flames too then, since that's only 42 seconds. And presumably follows on from this. That's so dark. Like early in the album, there's everything is a high, and I feel like nothing's high. Everything's way down low. Apart from that symbol, everything is so low. Maybe that's intentional to track through the album as we start off hopeful and lose all our hope here. But I'm saying maybe that's intentional. It definitely is intentional. Okay. The drummer's getting everyone else in line a little bit. He heard those guitars feeding back, and his drummer's like, fuck no, get it, follow a rhythm. I have a bad feeling this is like a gearing up song. This is the last tweet that our incel writes before he straps on his semi-automatic and goes to the shopping mall. That's a purely US thing, you know. Although I say that, someone did run over multiple people at a parade 2 days ago. Yesterday? Yesterday. That 3 minutes went very quickly. That's so dark. That's so goth. Goths love this album, right? Surely this has got goth written all over it. Yeah, she dead. She's dead. We killed her. Alright. I should have done those two together because clearly they flow into each other, but never mind. And I write this to you, my dear, for your eyes alone. I'm out of heart and these tanks are low, so cast your days to flame and set your phoenix to flight. We've reached the end of our tether. We have gone beyond the horizon, or we feel we're about to. We're out of heart. We can't carry on. These tanks are low. We've got no energy left for it. So cast your days to flame and set your phoenix to flight. Let her turn to ash among those fluorescent lights. Let your love drift deeper. Let her wings catch the sky. Just remember my name, girl, and remember what died. We're gonna kill her and then ourselves. That's what I'm reading. That's what the story's led me to. And then, you know what? Why do I press back again? I'm going to press forward. There we go. She burns as bright as the sun, and she falls darker than night. She shines as light as these days, and she fades faster than time. Phoenix in flames. What else can this mean other than she's dead now? She burns as bright as the sun. She shines as light as these days. Like this, that's our memory of her. That's our delusion of her. She falls darker than night, and she fades faster than time. So as soon as we've done it, we don't care anymore. Phoenix in flames. And the next one I'm a little worried. It's called Thaw. What are we thawing? And what are we doing with it once we've thawed it? Anyway, the two phoenixes. Phoenix in flight. The sound of that I thought was really fucking cool. What did I give that? Hell to Pay? I think it's probably the best one. I'm going to go 85. And then Phoenix in Flames, I thought was I'll be real. I've been real this entire time. I thought that sounded ass. I thought it sounded really bad. I know it was just meant to be like a violent altercation moment, like a story moment in the album. like this is us killing her, but it just sounded really. I hated how that sounded. It didn't sound musical. It sounded like a skit. Was it worse than Past Self by Sleep Token? No, it wasn't long enough to be. 56. I'll show you what I've written. There you go. Alright, 2 left. One is apparently 12 minutes long. And maybe it is, but I feel like, I don't know, my spidey sense, my 2001 spidey sense is tingling. I feel like this will be a 5-minute song and then 3 minutes of silence and then a secret song. Although actually, if that were the case, Genius would probably spoil that, and it isn't. So maybe not, maybe it is a 12-minute song. We'll find out next though, but first we're going to listen to 4. There's not much words in it for 4.5 minutes. Let's see. Just like a chuggy riff now. I wonder why in some of the songs the lyrics are written out like multiple, like lines are written out multiple times based on what's being sung. Then sometimes it's not, sometimes it's written at once. I wonder if the band has done that or just people who fill in Genius. Tempo changing again. Alright, we'll lead it to go into the last song. In the want, the need, and this desperation, you'll find me as the time bomb. So again, we've already talked about our dwindling patience. The patience actually seemed to end in the previous song. As the last great stand in this history, when all our roads have been travelled, so we're dead. But this thing that I'm doing now is the last thing that either of us are going to do. And all have come to a most bitter end. Today I thaw. So we were frozen before because we weren't able to get close enough to her, and now we're thawing. Or maybe it's we're thawing like the love is bleeding away. And now Jane Doe. How in an album called Jane Doe did I not assume that there was going to be a nameless female corpse in it? Well, something my dad used to say about me is that I often miss the wood for the trees, and he's right. I do that a lot. Anyway, oh no, I need to give a number. I said it's kind of a really good cross-section sample for the entire album. I felt like when it was fast-paced and frenetic, it wasn't really doing it for me, and then as soon as it slowed down and varied up, I liked it a lot more. 77, one of the better tracks. I don't know, I feel like this album on the whole has worked for me in parts and then not. Like it's 45 minutes long, this album. And to be fair, it hasn't felt like it. Like, although I say that, there's still like 11.5 minutes left. I feel like the one song left winning the end. Well, I guess we're not really. But yeah, it's really worked in parts and really hasn't in others for me. And I can see that I'm not among the consensus in that feeling. But yeah, I can't go on based on anyone else's taste other than my own. And that's how it's felt. Jane Doe, let's see what happened to this poor girl. Obviously enough that she can't be fucking recognised. Not recognised, what's the word? Identified. Okay. So all songs on this album, it doesn't have any official accurate lyrics. Distorted really in only a few words. That's cool. So it's like it's been redacted. Almost a clean vocal, what the fuck? I wonder if we're going to cycle back to the beginning. That's what it feels like. Right, in terms of the writing. I think this is just going to be an 11.5 minute song. We're 4.5 in. And I hope it drastically switches up. Because if it is just going to do this for another 7 minutes, it's going to outstay its welcome big time. Because this hasn't been the best sounding song on the album. It's not the worst. But I don't want 7 more minutes of it. Okay, slow down. Slow way down. How much slow can we get? Down. I'm just kidding. Just moving the mouse in case the computer switches off from inactivity. There we go. I'm only half joking. The timer's set pretty low. Where's this going? This is the scary part when I read it. Pretty sure the girl that we're telling to run on There's a new one. Started the stalk and murder cycle again. Yeah, I'm right on, I think. That's why it's called. That's why this song's called Jane Doe, because we don't know who she's gonna be yet. Could be anyone. I'm actually looking at the thing and thinking, how's this going to wrap up in 50 seconds? not something I normally think of when I'm listening to an 11.5-minute song. Wait, how's this going to end in time? That's what I'm thinking. Well, the common consensus is that that's the best song on the album. And for once, the common consensus is correct. 86. I'll show you my numbers. So we've gone 72, 74, 75, and then we hit the first great song, Hell to Pay, 84. 74, 80, 79, 76, 85, 56, unfortunately. It wasn't really a song. And it didn't sound good. 77, 86. I was dreading this, and like I said halfway through, this needs to change up, otherwise it'll overstay its welcome. That first part, it actually sounded good. Just like, is it going to be this for 7 more minutes? And it wasn't. It went through a story. It went through a journey back to the beginning, just as I thought. So let's read it. These floods of you are unforgiving, pushing past me, spilling through the banks, and I fall. So these memories of her, we can't escape them, even though we've done what we needed to do and got rid of her. The memories are still there. Faster than light and faster than time. That's how memory works, at least in the dark where I'm searching for meaning. When I'm just searching for something, I want out. So yeah, we are in the dark because we've got rid of the light, and now we're just searching for meaning. What do we do now that it's over? I want out of every awkward day, of every tongue-tied loss. I want out of the burdening night sweats, out of the rising seas of blood. So we just feel wrong. We feel sick because we've gotten rid of her. And so we go out on Saturday nights, searching the streets with bedroom eyes, just dying to be saved. We're looking for a new woman to stalk and be obsessed over. And we must see someone, or someone must see us and think, ooh, no. And maybe not literally runs away, maybe like glances and looks away quickly and then gets on her way. And we kind of agree that they should run on. That's how I read it. I want to go though now to like the album page again and see if anyone's like written what this concept is. So my face is in the way. Jane Doe is the fourth studio owned by American metalcore band CONVERGE. Widely credited for popularization of the metalcore genre, the album was immediately met with widespread critical acclaim. Critics praised its poetic lyrics, dynamic range, ferocity, and production. Jacob Bannon. Okay. The album's lyrical themes were born out of a dissolving relationship and the emotional fallout from that experience. Visually, I just wanted to capture the disillusionment with relationships and channel the negatives I felt. I did this in the hopes of creating some sort of positive out of all the negative I was experiencing. According to Rolling Stone, writing Jane Doe was about the hope and desperation that I was trying to search for. I thought it would help, but it didn't. That's not how it came off, mate. That's not how it came off. It came off incelly murdery. I mean, it was very entertaining, but I would be terrified of this dude if he was real. Like, obviously, he's not writing from his own perspective. He's using his own perspective to inform the writing, but he's not writing about himself. Which is what most writing is, by the way. So especially lyrics. Anyway, now I need to write something in this box. Worked for me in parts, but some parts didn't. An experience I'm glad to have had, but probably won't return to, which is true. I don't think any of those tracks are anything that I really want to come back to. But it's a seminal album that I'm glad I've listened to. And I did enjoy it. Like, I wasn't pulling my hair. Like, if I didn't like this sound, an 11-minute 33 song would have me pulling my hair out, and it didn't. But I don't think I can rate it. I certainly can't go above 80 for me, because this is my taste. I know I'm well below the consensus here, but you know, it's just not really quite my thing. I'll go with like a 76. I think that's fair based on what I felt. Yeah, I enjoyed that album. Parts of it really worked for me. Like, I've just got to say what I've written there. There's no point. Oh dear. So yeah, from me, Roasting Charmaine, and from my channel founder, Trin Exists. Until the future, drive safe. And guess what? Once again, I haven't got anything prepared. It's actually end the video after saying my little outro thing. I always do this. Bye.